The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new LetsGoRacingParks.com. Take a ride into this kind of action.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
LetsGoRacingParks.com is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. This past weekend, racing returned here to Parks and returned in a big way. Here at the top of the show, Dick and I will take a look at the Sound Abundant PTHA President's Cup and 3-year-olds prepping for the Pennsylvania Derby and the Grade 3 Smarty Jones. On the national scene, we'll head up to Saratoga. All eyes at Saratoga, the Grade 1 Travers Stakes, and also a touch on Paige McKenney. Dick, Paige McKenney has been retired.
He has. What a run, but we're sorry to see him go.
A little bit sad. We'll talk about him in just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones out on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing. My good friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, a big weekend.
Yes.
Live racing returns to Travers. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it was great. 2.5 weeks without live racing here, and it comes back on Travers Day,
Yep.
and you get Smarty Jones Day here at the track. So, yeah, it was a huge day, and it's just the first of many as we go through to September 22nd and the PA Derby and the Cotillion.
Dick, we have lots to talk about.
We do.
So how about if we get to the action?
Let's get it done.
Let's get right to the Smarty Jones Stakes. Grade 3 race, 3-year-olds going 1 mile at 1:16 for $300,000. It drew a field of 8. The favorite number 7, Flame Away. Flame Away comes in 9-5 for trader Mark Cassie. He's a multiple Grade 3 winner. Dick, he's competed in some big races this spring. But you know what? When you look at his numbers, he is what he is. He runs 92s and 93s basically all the time.
Yeah, he won the Sam Davis, and that's the last race he won.
Right.
I mean, he's been second, like you said, the Jim Dandy, the Bluegrass, the Tampa Bay Derby, but a little cut below, and it showed in the Kentucky Derby, and was 13th, beaten by 30.
Second choice, number 5, Diamond King, who's 3-1. Frankie Pennington up here for John Service, and local 3-year-old trying to get it done here in the Smarty.
Yeah, this is John Service and the Cassius King folks and the Greens, and horse ran in the Preakness. Not so well in the Preakness, but other than that, he's had a really good year.
1 mile at 1:16, the Grade 3 Smarty Jones. Here's the call. And they're off in the Smarty Jones Stakes. Cowboy Knight gets the first call. Diamond King being hustled out of there by Frankie Pennington. And Flame Away is just there to the outside of Diamond King. And First Monday is moving up into the early mix down to the inside. Wait for it will be 4th into the first turn. Axelrod is 5th. Axelrod was able to get over to the inside of Title Ready, who's 4 wide, but nonetheless pressing on. At the back now are Cowboy Knight and Transistor. So Diamond King will take the field onto the back stretch. Flame Away will sit just off the pace. Into the outside of the top pair sits Title Ready. The first quarter was 24-4. That trio has about 2 on Axelrod, who's now sitting 4th by another 2.5. Wait for it with 5 furlongs to go. Moves up to be 5th. First Mondays has dropped back. Now racing 6th on the inside and getting a nudge from Josh Navarro. And it's 3 more back to the 2 long shots, Cowboy Knight and Transistor, 48-2 for the half. So the pace, very reasonable in the Smarty Jones for Diamond King. Diamond King 3/4 of a length. Flame Away second ahead. Title Ready just off those 2 on the outside. Axelrod begins to get involved. Wait for it, is in with a chance, beginning to kick in with a bit on the far outside. The leaders are well bunched with 5/16 to go. Diamond King now being asked to quicken on the inside. Title Ready has had a wide trip to the quarter pole. Wait for it, ranging up with the far outside. Flame Away is yet to kick in. Axelrod now swings to the far outside. It's Diamond King in front. Diamond King has the lead with an 8 to go. Axelrod coming hard on the far outside. Here comes Axelrod, and he'll surge past them all. Well, Dick, I thought this was a very impressive performance. Number 8, Axelrod, who was coming off a 12-1 victory in the Grade 3 Indiana Derby. Kind of gets blind switched coming to the top of the stretch. Joe Bravo has no choice but to wheel about 5 wide. And Dick, when he straightens away, he blows by those horses in no time at all. Goes on to win by 4, pays $10 to win for trainer Michael McCarthy. Dick, he didn't start his 3-year-old campaign until April. He is a late developer, and he looked good. Yeah, it's 2 derbies in a row, 2 different states. Obviously, he'll come back here for another one. Same state, different stakes with the Pennsylvania Derby on the 22nd. But yeah, 92 buyer, not a great number. That's about what this horse is, but you're right, he is getting better. And Michael McCarthy, the longtime Todd Pletcher assistant, now has some really good horses out on the West Coast, including City of Light, who we're going to see later on. He
was the favorite in the four-go at Saratoga.
Dick, our man Bruce Casella had the Let's Go Racing cameras here in the winner's circle, and he caught up with winning jockey Joe Bravo.
I'd say this horse, it just looks like he's stepping up every race, getting better and better. Today he broke away from there really on top, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not our schedule. And he sat back, relaxed. But I'm going to give the full credit to Nick Casado. He's like really the owner of it all. He was my agent back in California, and stick by you. You do so much better when you have people sticking by you for so many years. Thanks, Nick.
And Dick, I think you just mentioned to me that Joe Bravo, 5,300 lifetime wins.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some career, and it started 30 years ago right here at Philadelphia Park then.
Dick, right before the Smarty Jones, we had the Sound Abunda PTHA President's Cup. It's the older horses at 9 furlongs for $100,000. We started with a field of 6. And Dick, we lost one before the race, and we lost a big one.
Yeah, we lost a big one for sure. Paige McKinney had that tendon issue. Rather than try to keep running him, they decided to retire him. He's obviously had an amazing career, and he's really been good here at Park. 6 out of 7 lifetime with a second, and he's a new Hall of Fame inductee. It'll be announced shortly, but what a great Pennsylvania bred, and what a claim. Claim for $16,000. Won almost $2 million.
Well, Dick, with his absence, we have a huge favorite here. And you talk about claims. Number 2, Aztec Sense, ends up going off at 3-5 for trader George Navarro. Dick, can you and I go back to August of last year and pull out $12,500 and claim this horse?
Yeah, and give him to George Navarro. But you know who did? Our good friend Joe Bessinger, who came up with the 12-5. And this horse is going for 6 in a row in 2018 in this race.
Dick, and with Paige McKinney out, looks like he's going to be tough to beat. Here's the call. And they're off in the Sound Abunda PTHA President's Cup. Aztec Sense away smoothly from that inside gate. 2 weeks off is right alongside. And on the outside, Thirst for Life will take back from those two. Small Bear lands down inside 4th, and G-Zap last to the 5 as they head to the first turn. And Aztec Sense will concede the lead to 2 weeks off. So 2 weeks off will set the pace. Aztec Sense eases to the outside to sit second. After that, it's Small Bear and Thirst for Life. Those two side by side, 3rd and 4th. And G-Zap at the back is 5th and last, but much closer today. He'll go to the back stretch, only about 6 lengths off the lead. The first quarter was 24 seconds flat for 2 weeks off, and 2 weeks off is in front just a length. Aztec Sense edges closer down with the outside. A little bit more than 2. Back to Thirst for Life, who's on the outside 3rd by a neck. Small Bear is down inside 4th, and G-Zap is 5th. And G-Zap is now almost 7 lengths behind, 48 and 2 for the half. So Aztec Sense coming up to the neck of 2 weeks off with just a half mile to go. Small Bear at the inside is only 2.5 lengths behind. Thirst for Life gets his cue to go on. He's 4th on the outside. But here comes Aztec Sense now making his run for the lead with 3 gates to go. They round the far turn. Aztec Sense is in front of neck. 2 weeks off is coming under the whip second. Small Bear is off the rail. No response from Thirst for Life. G-Zap still with a lot of work to do at the back. Aztec Sense, top of the stretch, holding on to a 2.5 length lead. Well, Dick, I felt like this race was over like maybe before the gate opened. Aztec Sense looked like a winner every step of the way. Kendrick, when he pushed the button to go, Aztec Sense just eased on by, and for $100,000, it doesn't get a whole lot easier. 3.5 lengths on the wire, 320 to win. Another win for Aztec Sense.
And 97 buyer, and always great to see Kendrick come back home, because this really is his home. He's now over 3,100 wins, speaking of a guy who's won a lot of races. And how about this claim, as we said, 12-5, a little over a year ago, has won $208,000 in 2018. They still haven't beaten Aztec Sense. He's 6 for 6.
Well, let's check out Kendrick, who is in the winner's circle after the win in the Sound Abunda PTHA President's Cup.
George Navarro just told me to warm the horse up, stay with the pony, you know, and he thought the 3 horse might want the lead more than I wanted it, so I pretty much just let him go the first quarter nice and easy. And when I got to the half a mile, I pressed him a little, and the 3 horse came back to me. And he just ran his race from there. You know, George Navarro and Joe Bessinger, they've done such a good job with this horse. I'm just another person that enjoying a win on it.
It's an honor just to be president of the PTHA. I've been a long time involved with them, and it's just great that they've come to the point where they want to make me part of the being honored as part of the PTHA. This race has existed for a long time. Larry Riviello, originally the president, had the name in there. It then went to the PTHA President's Cup, and now they've decided to put my name in there as the president. So it's a great honor for me, but this shows the support and environment of all the PTHA members and what they do for racing here.
And it's time to head to our first break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. Pat Chapman was on the grounds to present the trophy, and also a special moment for the folks from Paige McKinney. We'll have that when we come back after this.
Parks Racing is the perfect place for family fun. Hear the thunderous sounds of the thoroughbreds racing down the stretch from our picnic road. Or you can get up close and personal trackside for excitement you will never forget. Parks Racing is a great place to meet up with your friends. It's all about action and hopefully picking a few winners. Many of the same horses on the Triple Crown Trail will be heading to Parks Racing in the fall for the $1 million Pennsylvania Derby, right here at Parks Racing. It's fun to see them run. Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees, makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing, and we begin our second segment with our buddy Smarty Jones. Dick, 2003, of course, he started his career as a 2-year-old.
Right here.
2004, we all know what happened, and he's been a sire now for a stallion for quite a long time.
Yeah, he's been a stallion since 2005. He started at Three Chimneys in Lexington, then he came back to Pennsylvania for a while, and he's been shuttling. Right now he's in Uruguay, and he does the Southern Hemisphere, and Pat Chapman was here, and Bruce caught up with her, and she'll tell us the rest of the story.
Let's get more on Smarty Jones. He's coming back.
Smarty's doing great. He's in South America right now, where they really, really love him. This is his second year back, and they want him back again next year, and he'll probably go back next year. Fans really, really love him down there, and the breeders breed to him, so I love that. He hadn't been breeding a lot of mares in Kentucky, so he's going to come back to Pennsylvania and give that one more try before he retires.
And where's he going to go in Pennsylvania?
Don't know yet.
Working on it.
I'm working on it.
And Dick, as Pat mentioned, we're not sure what farm he's going to yet, but as soon as we get that information, we're certainly going to pass it on.
Absolutely. He's been at a couple different farms here in the state, and obviously there will never be a more popular horse in this state than Smarty Jones.
Well, Dick, Paige McKinney was pretty darn popular himself, and the injury forcing his retirement. And Dick, he was part of the match series, and he has won his division in the match series.
He won the division without even after running on all the races.
How cool was that?
Very cool.
And Tom LeBaron was here to make a presentation on Saturday.
He was claimed for, I think, for $16,000 about 5 years ago. The co-owner, Adam Staple, who got Mary Epler to claim the horse, you know, obviously they saw something there and thought, well, maybe we can improve a little bit on this horse. Well, you know, he won $1.8 million or more for them, and he's been extremely well managed. And he's developed a real following in the Mid-Atlantic region. You know, when a horse is 8 years old and he has a tendon issue or something, it's for the best, and we're just really glad that he's retiring, and and that he can live out his life at a farm or maybe as a pony for Mary Epler. So it's really good stuff.
Well, it's time to get to our national coverage now. It's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Are you ready for the Travers?
I'm ready. I've been ready.
A mile and a quarter for, of course, 3-year-olds. $1.25 million is the purse here. They started with 11. We down to 10 with a scratch of the long shot Meisterbind. And Dick, the favorite is no surprise here. It ends up being Good Magic.
Right.
7-5 the price. Trainer Chad Brown. Dick, his numbers also do not say that he's a standout here. His record is outstanding, but his numbers are not.
Yeah, he just never runs a bad race. That's why people like him. He came back winning, won the Haskell. It was probably the weakest Haskell field in memory.
Right.
And as I was looking at the race, and then you watched the races on Friday and Saturday, man, he was at a disadvantage because you needed to be nearer the rail and or have speed. And he has a little bit of speed, but he didn't feel like he was going to be near the rail, so he was kind of up against it a little bit at 7-5.
Breaking from the 9-hole, Dick, number 3, Gronkowski. The other Chad Brown horse goes off as the second choice. Now, Dick, he came to the Belmont Stakes as a relative unknown. Went off at 24-1 that day. He get 3-1 today on a track that's not conducive to what he's doing. Many would regard that as a serious underlay.
Yeah, look, he ran second to Justify, the Triple Crown winner. That's what stands out on his record, and that's why he got bet. But yet, all of your points are really good ones. He hasn't run since the Belmont. He missed a little bit of training time. I thought he ran great in the Belmont Stakes.
I did too.
Especially missing the break. But again, the racetrack is not really conducive to his running style.
Dick Catholic Boy coming off the turf is 7-1. We get Vino Rosso, who's also off the pace, 8-1. Bravazzo in again. He's 10-1. And Dick, the filly, we called her Wonder Gadot, but it's not. It's Wonder Gadot.
Named after Gal Gadot, the Israeli actress who I believe plays Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think that's where it all came from. After all this time, we're now figuring it out.
Larry Colmus has the call with the Travers.
Catholic Boy pressing the pace on the outside second. Wonder Gadot is down toward the inside as they head to the backstretch. Then Tenfold. Bravazzo is in behind them. Good Magic is outside of Bravazzo, some 6 lengths off the lead, heading for the backstretch. Then Trigger Warning and Gronkowski, Vino Rosso, and King Zachary. The half was 47.81 seconds. Up the backstretch in the run-happy Travers, and Catholic Boy confronts Mendelssohn. But Mendelssohn keeps this lead by a neck. Wonder Gadot is 2.5 lengths off of them. Then Tenfold on the outside of Longshot Trigger Warning, who's down toward the inside. Good Magic is still about 5 lengths behind as they head past the half-mile pole. 3/4 in 1:11.97 seconds. Then Bravazzo. Vino Rosso on the outside. Gronkowski's at the rail. King Zachary is still last as they round the far turn. Mendelssohn is the leader. Catholic Boy continues to run with him, and they've been 1-2 all the way so far. Wonder Gadot's under a drive and starts to backpedal. Then comes Tenfold. Vino Rosso on the outside of Bravazzo. And they're into the stretch, and it's Catholic Boy. Catholic Boy has taken the lead on the outside. Mendelssohn is full out toward the rail. It's 5 lengths back to Bravazzo, who's now third. Then Vino Rosso and King Zachary on the outside. They're coming down to the 16th pole. Catholic Boy is pulling away.
Well, Dick, what a tremendous performance by the 11 Catholic Boy, who's 7-1 for trainer Jonathan Thomas with Javier Castellano aboard stalks Mendelssohn throughout, and really looked like he could take over when he wanted to, and he sure did. He went on to win by 4, pays $16.20 to win. Mendelssohn at 13-1. They said he wasn't even 100%. He ends up finishing second. Number 4, Bravazzo, closes for third. The Catholic Boy is an amazing story. He's a Grade 1 winner on the turf. He's now a Grade 1 winner on the dirt, all in the course of a couple of months. That does not happen very often.
Now, we can only find 2 instances in recent racing history, maybe ever, of horses doing that. One just happened to be maybe the greatest racehorse that ever lived, Secretariat. In his Triple Crown season also won Grade 1s on the grass. And California Chrome did it in 2014. People kind of forget, but his last race of 2014 was a Grade 1 on the grass. So, yeah, it's very, very unusual. So, yeah, Catholic Boy is in rarefied territory. And it's interesting, Keith, he's not running back on the dirt. He's going to run back in the hill prints on turf at Belmont Park to get ready for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Obviously, we would have loved to have seen him come here, but Jonathan Thomas, the trainer, thought, hey, look, turf is a more forgiving surface. They're going for going for all of it in the Breeders' Cup. And off of what you just saw, you'd have to say he's a contender. He got 104 Beyer. This is a really, really talented horse.
Well, Dick, not much happened. Those 2 ran 1-2 the whole way. The other horses just kind of floundered behind him.
It was very much of a speed track, and you have to take that into consideration when you evaluate Catholic Boy, as well as Mendelssohn, who obviously ran way better than he ran in the Derby or the Squire. And as you said, O'Brien said he had some sickness. There were some problems. Remember, originally they were going to come here, and they rerouted him to the Travers, and now they're going to wait for the Breeders' Cup Classic. He, to me, at this point, would be a bet against in the Breeders' Cup, because they'll go, oh, now he's really ready. I think he just caught the wave on Saturday, and he rode it around for second.
Well, Dick, here's more with the winners.
When I saw him warm up the way he did, he just seemed happy and moving well, and I thought we'd probably break sharp. And, you know, I still have to kind of sit down and digest it, but, you know, the way he was traveling and when they threw up the first quarter fractions, half fractions, I thought it was a reasonable time for where we were. And when I saw him still traveling nicely to the 3/8 pole, I thought we were golden, because that's where he really starts to get strong.
Jonathan kept saying, there's something about him that I like. And I said, okay, now you're going to have a chance to prove it. And he did. And unbelievable.
And let's continue with our coverage from Saratoga with the Grade 1 Personal and Syndic. It's the Fillies and Mares, the big Fillies and Mares, 9 furlongs for $700,000. The matchup, number 1, Abel Tasman, and number 6, Elate. Dick, Abel Tasman is 3-5, and her 4-year-old debut didn't look so good at Churchill, but came back with a career best next time.
Yeah, she won on Belmont Stakes Day for the 2nd year in a row, and she was incredibly impressive that day, winning by 7.5, getting 100 buyer. And when Bob Baffert and Mike Smith come to Saratoga in the summertime for a grade 1, who dares bet against them? Now, you're thinking, how can this horse be 3 to 5? Well, that was part of it.
Right.
And the other part was the inside part of the track, because really Elite should not be as big a price as she was, but she was going to have to overcome the racetrack to win.
Dick, Elite's 9 to 5 for Bill Mott, and she looked good winning the down at Delaware, but this is a different race.
Well, yeah, it is a different race. Remember, these two hooked up in that great CCA Oaks last year that was very controversial, DQ or no DQ. But Bill Mott, it was clear he was as confident as he's ever been. To win a 1.25 miles off the bench like he did was amazing. You know she was going to be ready, and she was.
Personal Ensign, here's the call.
Abel Tasman pokes her neck in front. She takes hard on the inside as second. Farrell just a length and a half off of them. Elite will sit the rail in fourth after a 46.62 half. The pace has been an honest one here with a half mile to run. Wildcats in a good stalking spot in fifth. Furiously Kissed trails. Around the far turn, Abel Tasman now by a length and a half. Farrell and Elite are right behind. Wildcat's going to move up on the outside. Take over fourth from She Takes Heart, who's had enough. Then Furiously Kissed. 3/4 in 110.26. Abel Tasman is the leader as they come to the top of the stretch. And here comes Elite after her. And the two of them hook up again. And the Personal Ensign, Abel Tasman put to a drive. Elite takes it to her with a furlong to run. They are nose to nose, stride for stride. Abel Tasman and Mike Smith, Elite and Jose Ortiz. Who's it gonna be? Abel Tasman determined. Elite can't get by. Here's the wire. Oh, Abel Tasman did it.
Dick, did Bruce just show the Coaching Club American Oaks over again from last year? This was amazing. Abel Tasman, Elite hooked up last year, some bumping in the stretch, a claim of foul. The exact same thing happens. Abel Tasman inside, Elite outside, there's more bumping. Again, a claim of foul, gets dismissed again. Abel Tasman wins it at $3.50 to win. I mean, serious deja vu.
Yeah, Bill Mott doesn't get upset very often. He was really upset. He was hot. He was just saying, wait a second, this horse. And if you watch the head-on, clearly Abel Tasman came out a path or two, and Elite maybe came in a path. So who made the bumping? Whose fault was it? They couldn't come up with an answer. I couldn't either, frankly. And you know where I am on DQs anyway. So they left it up. And trust me, I was ready to bet out on Elite. But the track changed my mind, and thank God it did.
Dick, let's take a look at the Grade 1 Ballerina. The fillies and mares going 7 furlongs.
That man's back. Those men are back again.
You got it, Dick. And one of the reasons we're showing this, there's 3 7-furlong races on the card. And again, this is the fillies and mares. And Dick, the favorite is number 7, Marley's Freedom, who's 9 to 5 for some guy named Bob Baffert.
And Mike Smith.
And Mike Smith put up a huge number 2 starts back.
And 2 for 2 with this combination was trained before by Bob Hess. Now it's the Baffert Smith combination. It was Drayden Van Dyke, but when they travel, Mike gets on the airplane. And on paper, when I looked at this horse, I'm saying she can't win because she's going to have to circle wide on this track. Well, some things can overcome any kind of a track.
Number 6, Lewis Bay is the second choice at 5 to 2, and let's watch Marley's Freedom.
Around the far turn, Finley's Lucky Charm taken on by Lewis Bay after a 45.44 half mile. Marley's Freedom is coming up to them with a 3-wide bid now, coming to the top of the stretch. Marley's Freedom on the far outside. Lewis Bay is there. Finley's Lucky Charm. Ivy Bell's coming up the rail. No place to go for Still There, who's behind a wall of horses. Marley's Freedom in front with a furlong to run. Mike Smith lets her loose and she turns it on.
Bob Baffert, Mike Smith, super impressive here. Marley's Freedom, as you said, ran against the bias.
Very much so.
Ran away from the wins by 3 1/4, pays $5.80 to win. Dick, there were some fast male horses on the program going 7 furlongs. She ran 1:21:39, and that was the best of all of them.
Yeah, 2 other grade 1s, one for 3-year-olds, one for older. She ran, as you said, Keith, faster. Now, they were all very close times, but she was the fastest. 100 by her speed figure. Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint. My guess is she probably doesn't run until then. I am not betting against her at Churchill Downs because she ran right through the track bias.
Well, Dick, let's get to our next break. We'll go back here on Let's Go Racing Awards Digging About. We'll be right back after this.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. The weekly awards, of course, brought to you by the great folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org and get involved with that great organization. Dick, our Jockey of the Week, Josh Navarro, just continues to have a terrific season here. He is a really good rider.
And he's got our man Kid Breeden getting his mounts for him.
Josh Navarro, our Jockey of the Week, our Trainer of the Week. How about Richie Vega? How about Richie? So double this week and finalist for the Hall of Fame. Wish him the best, but he is our Trainer of the Week. Dick, let's get back up to Saratoga. This one's the grade 1 Alan Jerkins. The 3-year-olds at 7/8 for $500,000. Number 1 Promises Fulfilled, 6-5 for Dale Romans. Huge effort in the Amsterdam. Can he back it up?
Yeah, here's a classic case of one horse is benefiting from the rail. Promises Fulfilled. He got loose on the lead and just never gave it up. And Firenze Fire, the 8, is going to come rolling late. Really ran against it. Remember, he ran that amazing race in the Dwyer. I would say next time Firenze Fire runs, take out a loan. Yeah. He'll win.
Promises Fulfilled. $4.50 to win. Dick, it's looked Eye on Racing later this afternoon. How about 5 stakes? It's Pennsylvania's day at the races.
All PA bred stakes,
yes.
$100,000, and then we continue get this thing rolling. And of course, on Monday, Labor Day, the Turf Monster,
yes,
and the Greenwood Cup as September really gets started.
A huge weekend to Dick up at Saratoga. How about the Woodward?
The great horse, discreet lover, and he has a big chance if he can just get a pace to run at. Look out, maybe our man Uriah St. Louis can come back here with a win and you're in grade 1.
Does Uriah have a rap in his barn he could send up and enter?
We were telling him he should claim one. He can get him in there.
Dick, news and notes. Who's horse of the year? Talk about that after this.
Parks Racing is the perfect place for family fun. Hear the thunderous sounds of the thoroughbreds racing down the stretch from our picnic road. Or you can get up close and personal trackside for excitement you will never forget. Parks Racing is a great place to meet up with your friends. It's all about action and hopefully picking a few winners. Many of the same horses on the Triple Crown Trail will be heading to Parks Racing in the fall for the $1 million Pennsylvania Derby right here at Parks Racing. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Final segment news and notes brought to you by Pewter Stable. Their website is pewterstable.com. Log on, become an owner today. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick. A great man of the racing industry, John Asher from Churchill Downs, has passed away.
Yeah, he passed away suddenly. He was down on vacation in Florida on Monday when the word got, and anybody who's ever spent any time in Louisville and Kentucky knew John first from his great radio work. He won 5 Eclipse Awards in 7 years. Yeah. And then he went to work as the director of communications for Churchill Downs. He was really the historian, great voice, wonderful guy to talk to, and a huge void. It just will not be the same on the first Saturday in May or in the build-up to the Derby without John. So we're thinking about him and everybody at Churchill and his family, but a really difficult loss for everybody that knew him.
Dick, Justify, Triple Crown winner, slam dunk horse of the year. He's not even on top of the NTRA poll anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting, Keith. This is a very unusual year, in that he won the Triple Crown and then that was it. Right. That's not happened until you got to go back to the 40s. So what do you do if Accelerate wins out, right? Wins in California and then wins the Breeders' Cup. He will have had 1 loss all year, including the Breeders' Cup. And maybe a horse like Catholic Boy, we mentioned Turf, Dirt. What if he goes on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic? It'll be an interesting dilemma for the voters. But if the voting was today, it's justified. But it's not today.
That's right.
We'll see.
Dick, Pennsylvania Day at the races later here this afternoon, and Monday, Labor Day. We love the Turf Monster, the Greenwood Cup Mile. Come out, enjoy that as well. Hope to see you here, and we'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.